Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, course, and your year?
Yep, my name is Bradley Cottington. I'm studying business studies with enterprise with placement year at Bournemouth University. I'm currently going into my final year as of September 2020.
So, can you tell us about where you're from, hometown?
So my hometown is Maidenhead, which is in Berkshire, just close by Reading or Slough. And I went to the Henley College for sixth form as such, and Cox Green School for secondary school.
Okay. So could you remind us of the course you're currently taking?
Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Could you remind us of the course you're currently taking?
Oh, of course, yeah. So I'm studying the business studies with enterprise and with placement. So this is a 4-year course. Basically, you do 2 years of studying first year of all manner of different business topics. Second year, you have more choices in different pathways of business that you can choose, such as like HR, accounting, and project management or something like that. Then in your third year, you go into a placement. That's like a year in industry. I think they've changed it now to actually be a bit more accommodating, obviously with COVID, to be like something like 20 weeks or something like that as paid placement. And then you kind of return in that September to your final year, in which you do some more topics and then your dissertation as well.
So you said you've done 3 years of your course, about to go into your final year.
I've done 2 years of my 2 years of my actual business course and 1 year of placement.
Why did you choose your course?
Why did I choose my course? I chose my course because I saw at first that a typical kind of degree would obviously be like 3 years, 4 years potentially with a master's. But I thought to myself that I really wanted to get, at that time, I really wanted to get some work experience, and as such, like kind of in an office environment. A lot of my work that I've done previously has been like in the events management industry. I've also done sort of a lot of online selling, whether it's eBay, online kind of ventures for like enterprises and the stuff that I've started my own kind of businesses. But I thought the idea of starting 1 year in a company would give me a great kind of opportunity to learn whilst I work. Also kind of not such pay back student debt, but be able to kind of, so I'm leaving that at the moment. That's a different kind of topic I can talk about. But it's one of those I can sort of build on a bit more money to have after university to kind of go on to my next step.
And what have you thought of your course for the last 2 years, while you studied it?
I thought my course has been really interesting. It definitely has had kind of highs and lows. I think the business course, a lot of people think that it's very kind of, discombobulated. I think that's the word. With, doing 1 minute HR, accounting, all manner of different kind of subjects under that kind of one umbrella. But I actually think it's a great opportunity for a lot of students to find out what they're good at, find out what they're not so good at, where they need to improve upon, and then find that specialist kind of unique niche that they're really kind of interested in pursuing with into their final year and then into their actual long-term career.
Could you tell us did you come from a sixth form or college background?
So I came from a college background. I left my school after kind of, there was an opportunity, with reaching out to the Henley College, because I saw a really good, interesting course, which was the BTEC Extended Diploma in Business. So this was simply just a 2-year course that I think at the time, then they said they counted it as 3 A stars level if you could get triple distinction stars. Well, I think by five distinction stars would count to 3 A stars or something like that. So I thought to myself that they're counting it as a way and a step to still get into university, that I wouldn't need to have normal A levels. Plus I could do it to a way that I find a bit more comfortable. At the time, it was just purely coursework, so no actual exams at all. So I thought it was challenging, a new kind of experience to kind of do. Leaving my friends at school, but give me also an opportunity to be a bit more mature, go and actually get on the train every morning, half an hour away from me, and meet new people, experience, a different kind of aspect of business as well.
And would you say that course helped you at university for your first year?
Yeah, I'd say 100%. It gave me the confidence, desire, and interest in kind of business. And knowing at 16, I knew I wanted to get into having my own business and starting my own thing. And from that, it's kind of really propelled it and made me really think how important it is to, learn about my strengths and my weaknesses, and also for university style level to be able to kind of go on to the higher education level of business studies, meet new or other people that are also kind of specialists in their own different degrees, and really kind of network to be able to be, a great kind of mature adult that's like ready to take on the business world after uni.
What do you think the best A-levels / subjects are for your course?
I would say from experience, from a lot of business students, I've heard, they've done multi-level of like, some haven't chosen business, some have chosen, say, English with art and all the other management of different things. I think it's one where to do business at uni, you should definitely do kind of business at A level or BTEC level. I don't think you should potentially do an apprenticeship, but I think something where find what you really like doing. So if you like, for example, in GCSE, if you like creating things, take art like I have, and you can fail from it like I have as well, but it's also a great opportunity to kind of show and express your creativity, what you're kind of good at again, and really set yourself up for being able to take on lots of different mini subjects in that business course once it comes around to uni.
Could you tell us about your placement year?
Yeah, so my placement year was at Purbeck Managed Solutions, which was working directly with Lloyds Banking Group. I saw it as a great opportunity to learn multiple different kind of industries. I think that's where, again, it kind of gave me that opportunity where the Purbeck companies, they gave me a great opportunity because they thought they're taking on kind of a university student, so they could get someone who's quite demotivated or someone that is, a great bargain for the buck kind of thing. And I think I really took it in my stride that I wanted to repay them the favour that they'd given me in taking me on for a year. So I acted as any other kind of employee. I was working as, say, 9 to 5:30, Monday to Friday. And I found it really, really enjoying to learn about HR, recruiting, general office work, politics in the office, banking as well, working with one of the leading largest digital banks in the UK, being Lloyds. I think it was a fantastic experience to kind of learn about their different recruitment process, but also kind of speaking directly with human resources as well, like candidates, CV writing as well. The amount of different CVs I probably saw in like the thousands or millions of CVs that were all ranges of skills. So I think I can really understand what employers are looking for, as well as what actual employees need to add to their CV to be better.
What were the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth University? Starting off with the worst.
Oh, I'd say the worst things at studying at Bournemouth University I think maybe students coming in at the moment with COVID and stuff still present, and not knowing kind of what's going on with university in terms of like accommodation, should they get somewhere or not. Some people said to me, Brad, should I bother getting kind of actual like accommodation, whether it's a student flat or a student house? And I said, you'd be daft to not get one, because Bournemouth could be up and running by the time September hits. So it's so important, I think, to be prepared and think, I do actually need to get accommodation, and they're not cheap in whole relatives, and that they're okay for what they do, which is obviously living there for a year away from kind of where you normally are. I'd say the other parts of it is that, as much as I do like the nightlife, it does have a lot of negatives, being that you could pretty much, I think we worked it out that maybe you could have, I know you can make any night a good night out, Or can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Perfect. I say, yeah, the 5 to 7 days out of the week, it's not good, say, for churning kind of that for your liver, also for your mental state, going kind of that many nights out a week. Plus, I think, as much as I would like to say that it's a good perk, it does have a negative to it. Another negative I'd say of Bournemouth is that I think my expectations were, as I kind of said to you before, that it's like the university has a, obviously like their website, it shows the highlights of the whole course. It shows, you know, what kind of different subjects are within that and what topics, units you're studying. However, it says on there a lot of the time that, you know, you'll be doing a coursework exam. So I remember asking some of the questions to ex-students and lecturers as well, saying coursework exam kind of goes against the point of, is it an actual exam or is it coursework? You know, are you in a time pressured environment or are you not? And there was a lot of confusion at that in the first point of it. For both parties, they didn't seem to know what it was, neither did I. And then I quickly found out that it basically the coursework exam means that you're actually in classrooms with all your other peers, might be 200 odd students, or it might be only 30 students. And you'll be in a time pressured of 2 hours, you've got to do this exam. You might be able to access, say, your notes or what you're allowed to write down beforehand, but it's pretty much a normal exam anyway. So I think a lot of the time they were trying to get a lot of people that would be interested from BTECs like myself. And that's where maybe I did fall under the cuff of actually going with it. But I've learned to say to get better at doing exams. And I know that obviously you can't just, you know, solely do coursework for the rest of your life. You do have to be put under pressure at some point.
Okay.
So in terms of perks, though, I'd say that Bournemouth has a lot of perks straight away. I'd say, obviously, I know I said the negatives of the nightlife, but there is some good opportunities with nightlife. It's not like I remember looking around Surrey University. I said to my mum that she looked at it and said it's the perfect, like, beautiful landscape and stuff. And then I quickly looked up how many clubs were kind of in the area and how the student union in the right middle of the uni was the only one in miles around. So I just thought that's not for me as such. But I think as well the kind of weather as well being really nice down by the coast, it made me pick it kind of over somewhere a bit more central in the UK, and a bit more, say, open, with obviously a lot of beautiful, like, different bits of countryside and stuff, which is always nice in terms of getting, like, fresh air and out of the way of people when you want to. In terms of the actual course, I think it gave me a great opportunity to study enterprise a little bit more and understand how businesses are formed, how they're run, how they make a profit, what their kind of aims are. The mindset of the students and lecturers is really, really good in terms of the leadership that's there. There's so many support networks as well at uni. All it takes is really, which I think has taken me some time to get used to, and I think will get students to take some time to get over, is the fact that you need to put yourself out there, whether it's for societies. It's taken me 3 years to get into societies and properly, but also for asking for help, you know, emailing people. You know, don't feel bad for emailing a lecturer if they're busy, or other students for offer advice and help. Always try and make friends on your courses, say, to help you out with different bits of the coursework or exams. I'd say from what I've maybe mentioned before about looking at other universities afar and when I was picking my choice at college, I think it's definitely a point to bring up how I thought, looking and being around in the open tour at Bournemouth, a lot of the people were kind of what I'd say are my normal kind of people, which are which are informal, you know, not too stressed or not too I think from like a schooling background. You know, they're very kind of interested in all their little different things, but they're also talkative. I found at other universities like Southampton, it's been very proper and school-like, with having, say, a lot of information kind of thrown at you from different other lecturers and no real kind of personal interaction, which I like. I'd also say that Bournemouth say has given me a lot of opportunity in helping me know what I kind of want to get into as well. They've advised on different things. There was like a placement advisor that we had for my placement. And she was very helpful to sort of give me an understanding of what I want to do, how I kind of can get there, what I need to as well for interview skills, tips, tricks. It's all online and really, really helpful for all students.
Okay, so could you tell us where you have lived for the last 2 years while at Bournemouth University? Where did you start living in your first year?
So first year was Purbeck House, just to say right by town. Really, really lovely accommodation. Couldn't knock it. It's prime location to get the bus into uni. I think it took maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And then getting to Asda as well, the big Asda right by the train station as well, as I say. Being able to potentially get back home was really kind of, I think, good for my family to know, and also good for me that I'm always, to say being the train station, it was 5 minutes away from my first year apartment. So then I could literally then be an hour and a half on the train kind of back home if, I felt unwell or just, wasn't in the right mental state and wanted to get back home quite quickly. And then I had also the opportunity to kind of to say get into town, get by Asda as well, get my shopping done quite easily. So really good kind of network from getting into uni, 10 minutes away, and being in from the town as well.
And where did you live in your second year?
And in my second year, I lived in Charminster, which was just by Charminster High Street. So I had kind of links to kind of all different shops there. I also had a bus service that I think would have taken me about 15 or 20 minutes. I was about 10, 15 minutes from Winton High Street. So in relative to Talbot campus, I probably took about half an hour walk to uni. So again, really, really easy to get to. But I found, I did find that I was working a lot more at home my second year, just because, not as in actual home, but home in Charminster. As I just found that I worked kind of better when I had those assignments kind of in front of me. And there was a couple bit more lectures which I couldn't always get to. So I would just kind of catch up at home and do them.
And where are you living in your final year?
My final year, I believe, if I remember correctly, we've just kind of sealed it in the last couple of months. I think we're literally just out by Winton High Street, so even closer to kind of uni again, in a bit of a smaller house, but just kind of easier to get to.
And what do you think the best university accommodation is?
Oh, I'd say I've been to quite a few of them. I've been to Home Park, Dorchester. I can't really remember the other ones apart from Purbeck. I think though that from I think I maybe went to about 5 or 6 maybe. I would say that Purbeck is by far the best out of all of them, just because I think it's a bit more.
So if you go from Purbeck House is the best, because
I'd say Purbeck is the best because you look at other ones like Dorchester, and I thought it's quite secluded and not very open, which means there's obviously less kind of chances you kind of getting to know other new people just by randomly meeting them. Whereas Purbeck was very open, and just the whole kind of good people around there were like talkative, say in the communal kind of areas with the pool tables and the workspaces as well, compared to Dorchester, I think, and other ones which are kind of either on the low quality, or Dorchester, which I think was a bit too secluded and pushed out of everyone's way.
Okay. If we talk about the Bournemouth area, could you tell us about the Bournemouth nightlife? So
the area, say, is mixed. Say there are some obviously really nice parts, but there's also some not as nice, obviously, like any other place around the UK. I'd say that the nightlife is definitely really, really good. It's one of the best that I've heard of from other kind of students. I think in comparisons, a lot of people say either like Bristol or maybe some ones up north like Nottingham and stuff. But I think Bournemouth's really good at kind of being that kind of on the southern coast, having, you have bars and clubs all up and down in the town centre. It's all kind of on one road as well, which is a great opportunity to get into in Winton, or 20-minute kind of taxi back, which is only about £10-15 on a night back. So it's really good links to kind of walk or drive to.
And from compared to where you live to Bournemouth, what are the shops like? Have you just got your basic shops, or is there a lot of variety?
I'd say, in comparison to kind of Maidenhead, I'd say that it's the shops are a lot better in terms of having more kind of bigger
Options?
kind of chains, bigger chains, options, stores. I'd say nightlife is 100% better down in Bournemouth. I think there's quite a few pubs, say, around my area, and I think like one club. Whereas, say, in Bournemouth, you've at least got maybe like 10 clubs. And then the bars and the like and pubs, you'd probably say in the region of 15 or something like that you could quite easily get to. And I'd say that in terms of kind of, just general shopping, I think it's great for you to kind of get to, again, much easier than, say, for me at home. Actually, I do spend longer to get into town than what I do down here.
And what are the shops like? Is there a lot of shops again compared to where you're from, or is it more variety, or is it the same?
I say there's more variety in Bournemouth.
With food shops?
Yeah. More variety in Bournemouth, 100%.
And is there anything else you think any students would need to know about living in Bournemouth and staying in Bournemouth, about the area or the university?
I would strongly advise to students to get accommodation with the uni first, like through BU Lettings in town, rather than, say, if you're a second year student or third year student, get into Winton or Charminster. Ideally Winton if you can, or even closer, say, to uni, the better, just because it makes you more motivated to go to uni, which means obviously your lectures, your seminars. Whereas if you're kind of stuck in town in your third or second year, it's making you more likely to go out on a night out and less likely you're going to turn up to lectures.
While at Bournemouth University, did you acquire any jobs?
At Bournemouth, I acquired my placement job when I was in my second year, which was right around kind of my exam time as well. So that was quite stressful to get everything kind of planned first, but then it was kind of an easy ride once I got per temps kind of sealed. I didn't get a part-time job. A couple of my friends got bar work and like cleaning and caring kind of jobs, which there is a lot of, but you have to be in there quick. And I'd say at the moment that we're kind of in now, with COVID still, you'd probably say you want to start applying anywhere now up till the next month to get a kind of well-paid, guaranteed job.
Okay, can you? So, while at Bournemouth University, did you join any societies?
Yes, so a lot of them said, you need to get into kind of society.
Whoa, Bradley. So you were saying about societies?
Yes, so societies, say from my cousins that went to university, and my friends kind of said that it's a good opportunity to meet newer people that you wouldn't normally have met, saying like anywhere from cocktails and mocktails society, had like football society, you've got all manner of different sports, educational ones as well, whether it's like the business society or something like that as well. And it's a great kind of opportunity to put on your CV, express that you're kind of a committed member of one of these societies, but also have a good time whilst on obviously at university in those first 3 years as such. So
your society.
Yeah, so I joined in my first year. I joined, I think, a cocktail or mocktail society. I think I joined the basketball society, and I was going to do football, and then just started playing it generally with friends instead. And I joined the business society as well. So I had 3 under my ones that I wanted to kind of meet people with.
And what did you think of them, and what did you do?
So with that, in that first year, I didn't really do a huge amount. I was talking to a few people kind of online, and I knew from what I was first taking it, I was quite sheepish in meeting new people. So I kind of thought to myself, you know, if I can kind of meet some people, that would be nice, but the confidence wasn't really there at that point. It wasn't until kind of this year coming now where I kind of had put those kind of on my CV. And now it's kind of a real where I'm actually being a committee member, being as a treasury executive at the business society. So that's where now as joining the society, you kind of do different events, you meet new people, whether it's say if it was say the cocktail or mocktail society, you might go out and or try new kind of different cocktails under that kind of breath. And it's literally just that. It's a lot of the time it isn't anything more than say what it kind of says on the tin. You know, football is football with if you're joining the team. But it's doing something that's out of kind of what you normally would be doing. So it's a good experience to kind of add on your CV.
And could you tell us about the business society?
Yep. So the business society at the moment is kind of being re-established again, heading up by myself, two other guys at the moment, and one other girl. But we're still recruiting for one role that's a health and safety executive role, which is basically just an admin volunteer position. And kind of the aim of society is to kind of help business students to add different skills and skill sets onto their CV, get them to get involved with learning about career paths that they want to go into, learning about kind of the different opportunities and people in business. So we're getting the guest speakers to come on to our podcast on Facebook to basically sit down and have a chat with us about different stories of, you know, startups, entrepreneurs. We're also going to be working with different not different universities, but different university committees, like other kind of societies we have in mind. And obviously with kind of what's going on, it's mostly going to be kind of online. So it's like online kind of learning, which you can just kind of watch anytime you like, and really get a gauge as to say what kind of industry we want to go into.
Could you tell us about your Bournemouth freshers experience?
Yep, I can. So I don't remember a huge amount of it. I do remember, I was always, I think from that kind of first start of university, I think it was 2 weeks exactly that they said freshers was on for. And you had different parties going on, whether it's like at different clubs and venues. You had, I think there was a field party at some point. You also have your kind of, with your different accommodation, they have kind of different events going on with that. Not as such, if you didn't want to drink or anything like that, it's absolutely fine. They have, I think they had also like food kind of all arranged. They had lots of different things kind of all going on. And then obviously, like being the big thing of Freshers' Fair, you had that going on for ages, learning about different societies, meeting new people again, all really starting and stemming from meeting new people more than anything. And I say mine was really good in terms of getting me adjusted to being in a brand new kind of town, and learning, say, about kind of, you know, my course, what I needed to do to get the good grades that I need to get at the end of the year. And really set me up.
What general advice would you give to students about to start university?
I'd say to give advice on students, I'd say that try not to say kind of expect anything, whether it's, you know, I think a lot of people get scared about uni saying that they don't know how to make new friends, or maybe that they think, you know, that there's a contrast and the contrast of, you know, not being able to meet new people and being scared about that. You shouldn't be scared of it. You should welcome it kind of into open arms, whether it's people you're actually living with in the flats, I think or flats or houses, is really good fun and entertaining. From one of my experiences, say I had a whole range of different people in my first year. That was a really good insight into just kind of making me feel comfortable, and learning about also different courses whilst they were there. I'd also say that for kind of other advice, living with people as well, you shouldn't be scared of it. It's a good learning curve. And it kind of picks up your faults and also other people's faults, and how to be better at, cleaning, talking with people, being social. I'd say some other advice is to not expect kind of anything off your course just by, say, winging it. You should look into all the unit details, what that coursework exam means. For example, for me, I should have looked more into talking to previous students, talking to previous and existing kind of lecturers, understanding your course and where it can get to you as well, because a lot of people, I think, have this notion of if they do a business degree, they can walk into kind of any business afterwards. I think it's a lot more, from that, where if you're specialising in business studies with HR, you should be able to sell that on your CV and to get into HR position a lot easier, yes. But it doesn't mean just because, say, that as well, that you've got a first class in history, English, anything like that, that you're going to walk into any job. It's all down to you as a person to kind of sell yourself.
And what advice would you give to students about to start Bournemouth University?
I'd say to not be worried, first of all, with kind of things going on. It's one of those where it's quite easily, you can feel worried for the first pressures of going somewhere new, but also with COVID, and making sure, obviously, if you feel comfortable going in with a block of flats or a house with other students from other different households, you just got to be careful, take the guidelines as they are, use distancing, but also be kind of, be available to, not only be aware as well of kind of what your surroundings are, and yeah, I say it's difficult because it's an awkward position where we're all in, but you've got to say just concentrate on your course, understand your course, and be prepared to say do that kind of pre-course work as well to get ready kind of for your degree.
What advice would you give to students about to study your course?
For my course in particular, I'd say that there is, say, that the highs and lows of the course, that you do lots of different units, which means that you're not going to be good at everything, and you only be good at everything if you put the hard work in by reading up on all those different kind of readings, all the different by attending all your lectures, or at least looking at them all online, and doing in a lot of it, which I was learning a lot about, was interpreting the coursework that you've got. So it's not just about where it says I had, for example, my accountancy coursework was to do like a balance sheet and a profit and loss account. That was kind of the only set keywords, but I had to interpret it to find the correct one, which they were kind of looking into, using all the kind of information that needed and required. So you just got basically research. You've got to find out and put yourself out there to really do well in business studies course, because you can't just wing it. You as well need to find out your strong points that you like doing and also your negatives, to then kind of go on to, when you get into second year, you can choose the courses that you like, units you like, and ones you don't. So for me, I found that I was much better at doing a bit more like research and writing down essays, rather than kind of numbers sometimes would get quite annoying. So I, for example, chose to do the project management, and I think it was operations management, and that was rather than doing I think double economics or something like that. And I just thought, for me, I feel more balanced doing management than economics, for that example.
You chose going to university over an apprenticeship / going right into work. What pathed you to make this choice?
Yeah, I chose that because at school I knew I'd been sold kind of apprenticeships at 16 to kind of go straight into something. I was lucky, for me, that I thought that I wanted to go and start my own business when I was older. And to get there, I could have say do an apprenticeship, but I thought from all the experiences and stories I've heard, apologies, no.
It's all right. So can you tell us why you chose no by going to go right into university?
So I looked at, say, the apprenticeships when I was about 16 in school, and I thought that at 16 I wanted to start my own business. So at that point in time, if I wanted to go into an apprenticeship, I'd heard a lot of horror stories and bad press on apprenticeships, from the low pay, a lot of grueling hours, the opportunities to progress kind of in your career wasn't there. Also kind of the opportunities for me to be kind of like an electrician or go into engineering or anything like that, I wasn't really interested in. I thought with a degree you could meet kind of like-minded people like myself that want to kind of go on to the next level of business, start their own thing, and be good at lots of different things, a wide range of skills, rather than just say a set and career path. And I also thought that it would also give me potentially a good opportunity to get onto a grad scheme, get in with a good kind of company first, learn for a couple of years, and then after that I can kind of go and do my own thing after backed up kind of savings.
So at this point, we let students have what I like to call a free-for-all, where you could say what you want, advice, help, tips. You can put your ads, you can put your LinkedIn's, your Instagrams, your Facebooks. You can literally say what you want about what you want. The floor is yours.
Okay. I'd say just say three things. You can find me kind of on my kind of journey going into business on LinkedIn just by finding me on Bradley Cottington, and just adding me up there as a connection. I can help you with help finding jobs or anything you kind of want to know, or get in contact with other people. And you can also see kind of my progress and my career kind of gone on to the next level. Other two things I'd like to say is that I would definitely advise kind of students that, you know, going to university is a task which you need to kind of go 100% in, be committed in there and your career path. And also I think the third point is, I say the placement is a really good opportunity that is available, and you should potentially take that up, think about it. You don't have to do it and put it down on your sheet that you want to do a placement, but definitely think about it. And finally, I say that I've actually joined the Treasury Executive position at BU Business Society. So if you want to follow the Business Society page, we're going to be posting guest speaker talks, lots of different other kind of content there. Whilst also joining the society, you can add that kind of to your CV and stand out against other kind of different candidates going for jobs after uni. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Amazing. Thank you.